Hey everybody, welcome back. A lot of things have happened since the last time I was recording, but I thought one of the best things to take time off everything is to make video, talk about board games, and at the very least it should make you feel good, or at least for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed listening to what I'm talking about. So today will be it's almost the end of the month for March. I'm gonna talk a little bit about things that have arrived in March for me. It's a lot more than I expected. There's a lot more games to cover, so let's just jump into it. And by the way, this is not even all the games there is. I'm gonna show you a quick review of what I have set up. Actually, I got a mic and everything here set up for for recording. So I mean, if you can call it, it's kind of like this is the thing that what came in March, in a way. Actually, it came much earlier than May, but just that I've not been actively using this a lot in the past many years that I had a mic. So unfortunately to say so. So I think you have to forgive me if there's a lot of echo and stuff like that, because it will take me for a while to adjust this, and this is the first try. So anyway, yeah, better get back to my camera. Get that the mic has been fixed up. I hope the echo is not too much according to what I hear. Let me just tone it down a bit here. Does it sound better? I hope so. Okay, let's start. Okay, so I'm going to begin with two small box of cards. I have played a lot of escape games. I think if you have seen my previous video, I have did some reviews for some of them, and from exit to unlock and everything. I must say that Deckscape is probably one of my best and most favorite escape game. Look at the size of this box. It's if you need to go on a travel, take two of this, no problem. Even if one of them is not enough, just go take two of them. And can you just play with it? And there's no components to cut out, no complex component to set up. No dials, no flimsy cardboards to flip here, no twist there, and things like that. No, none of it. It's all of them just comes with the super size card that's exactly the size of this box. It's and they're double-sided. One side they have some stories for certain cards. There's only stories, and then on the other side sometimes they're more puzzles and stuff. So it's what they call it, a pocket escape room game. And I think price range wise, this is one of the best price products for escape room games, and I highly recommend it. I've tried the one for the Escape from the Pharaoh. I can't remember. Was it Curse of the Pharaoh? I think that was it. And then since then I got two more. One more is Test Time. One more is Escape from Alcatraz. And this is a common theme used in many escape games. So I think you want to say I could even be fair enough to just compare all the games about escaping from Alcatraz. But anyway, if you want to take a look at the number of people playing, is anybody from 12 onwards, and 1 to 6 players, you can do it solo, with friends, on a train, on a plane. Sounds like the perfect things that you'll be able to do. Let me see if they give you any so this is just they told you these are based on real escape room puzzles that they've researched on, and they come up with original ones as well. And they are basically a deck of cards. There are all 60 cards here, so same about 60 cards here, also 64. And there's a sheet here. Okay, so there's some additional components for this one, but nothing too complex. It's not to say that the puzzles are easy in the first place. The puzzles can be quite challenging, but then again, it's not that type where you're relying on a flimsy cardboards pieced together structure and stuff to solve things. Some of them are more flimsy than others, but there's no problem with this game. And if you look, the retail price is only $15. $15 for maybe about an hour, he says. This is about an hour too, but usually it takes about 90 minutes, plus minus some logistic, having fun along the way and stuff. And $15 is well worth it, and you can totally preserve all the components after that. The cards are nicely labeled from 1 to 60, 64 or whatever, and you can just put it back in order, and just stuff it back in the box. Perfect to pass it to someone else, resell it, stuff like that. So this is totally eco-friendly, I must say. I highly recommended this series over all the rest of the escape games so far. This is one of the best. So we have here Test Time, and Escape from Alcatraz. Okay, we better move on to more. The next game I'm going to take down is no strangers to a lot of people. This is from AEG, and this is Cascadia. Cascadia is arguably one of the best games of 2021, and it's basically a lot of people say it's like Calico with animals, and in a way it's quite true because what you see here, instead of having the knit and quill with all the matching colors and everything, you're matching like hexagon tiles and putting animals on it, and basically the themes is all about wildlife and habitats, and as you can see, there's a lot of components here. There's deluxe wooden components that could probably explain the price point of it. There's there's also all the habitat tiles and wildlife, but basically it's the artwork's fantastic. Look at some of the cards here. So like you have this cute bear here, eagle. I think, is this a shark or something? No, it looks like a salmon actually. Well, anyway, the illustration is done by Beth Sobel. So I thought anyway, I like the art. Totally gets me, and this has been a game that has been like on my watch list for like forever. The price was like totally ridiculous for quite a while, and out of stock everywhere and stuff like that. But finally, it's back here, and I'm not sure. I think there's actually an expansion. Maybe I'll start hunting down an expansion. But this runs for about 30-45 minutes. You can be played solo, up to 4 players, and anybody for 10 plus. I think this makes a good replacement game, and like I said, arguably one of the best games in 2021. So if you haven't got it, go check it out. I'll put a link below, and I actually haven't met anybody who hate this game yet, to be honest. Okay, so that's all I need to say about it. Whoops, looks like there's too much game and it topples. Okay, let's try to clear some of this on this side, and then we go clear others. Like I said, there's a lot of games today. So this is the Villainous from Marvel. I think there's no introduction needed for this familiar character. He's Loki, and I think he's the main point why I bought this this expansion. I think the Villainous problem was that they are not really compatible. The Marvel Villainous is cannot be mixed with the normal Villainous game, and then they play very differently. There isn't a coin pool, as you can see, like very much like the one in the normal Marvel, and but he says that this box is compatible with the Marvel one only, so that naturally we have added 3 new heroes. Villain, if you were to put it, there's Loki. No, they even featured the Lady Loki, so and of course this game has been like on my list for a very long time. I have been wanting to get it, but the price point was not like fantastic, because it's like this costs almost as much as the original Villainous Marvel, and it's kind of like out of stock. Could be due to like Ravenous. I mean this Villainous with Ravensburger saying that they're stop taking new orders, and because they can't cope with it and stuff like that. But anyway, this one only contains like 3 villains, and plays about 20 minutes per player. It contains Loki, Madame Masquee, and MODOK. So I think it's I've seen people play this on with the various characters like Madame Masquee and Loki, and it's like fantastic powers, quite interesting, and I guess it's a good addition to my Marvel Villainous. So finally got it when I found that the price was reasonable. At least reasonable to me. It's not exactly fantastically cheap, but it's reasonable. Okay, so this is the Marvel Mischief and Malice. So next I'm gonna talk about another one that's also expansion. This is like the Expedition Leaders from the Lost Road of Arnak. This is the expansion. Beautiful cover, as you can see. It's from CGE, which is actually a company that I'm taking notice of quite a lot recently, because they do pretty good games, I'd say fantastic games, and a lot plays very well in solo, be it like straight away from the box, or they have actually a solo expansion for it, which is the case for Lost Road of Arnak. So Lost Road of Arnak, this is a very heavy box, and it's a very big box. I expect the games to be this expansion to be like half the box, but it turns out to be quite a lot bigger than I expected. Same thing is available for solo, up to 4 players, 30 minutes per player. 12 plus. And look at the artwork. Look at the artwork, man. This is like, if this is not called a beautiful game, I don't know what you call a beautiful game. The artwork is fantastic. You have a lot of leaders with various powers and everything, and there's a lot of additions of new stuff, such as like two new temples. There are like new items and artifacts, as well as there's also existence and archaeology site. As you can see, all the characters been listed. So this is like a good addition. So I have not actually opened this yet, as you can see, but from what other people has reviewed, it seems that this game is fantastic in the sense that people who already love Lost Road Arnak totally love what this has added to it, and give it so much variety that it's a must-have for one of the best games of 2021. And then we are going to have this game. This is called 1400. No, exactly not. Actually, it's not. It's called Chronicles of Crime. 1400. So Chronicles of Crime is arguably not really a board game, and I kind of agree with that. Basically, what you have is that you have an app that's actually available for either Android or Apple, and basically in the app you get to investigate crimes, and there's a bunch of cards and location here in this box. So what you have is that want to go to this location to investigate something, you scan a QR code for that location. You want to talk to this character, scan a QR code for that character. You want to ask this character about this item, scan the QR code for the item, when you're talking to the character. Basically, this is the gist of the game. So in a way, you can think about it as it's an app game where there's physical cards with QR codes for you to assist you in playing the game. So technically speaking, some people say this is not a board game, but it's a fun experience anyway. So I've enjoyed the Chronicles of Crime, the original series, which is based on London modern days. This is based on the 1400s, as you can see, and you have characters from the medieval, in like places like in this kind of thing. This is some sort of town square, tavern looking, and all the medieval crimes. There's 4 of them here in this box. I think there's some additional ones in the Millennium series when you have all the 3 boxes. As you can see, this is like, you want to go to this location, you scan this QR code. You want to talk to this guy, scan this QR code. So he has to be at this location, of course. And you found something, you want to ask him about it, you scan this QR code. Maybe ask him about the dog, whether it's his or something. So as you can see, as you discover items and evidence in the game, you get a progress, and people, you have to crack people open up, investigate the cause of death and items. I mean, it's not really cruel, but it's not a lot more complex to it, and it's a very, very nice story driven cooperative games for so I wouldn't really write it off as it's not just because it's not a board game. I won't recommend it. I highly recommend it, in fact, although it is technically speaking not a board game, but it's a very, very good experience to have, and I think they probably has pioneered something very, very different from traditional board games. So this is the first it's probably the first in the series, the 1400s. I think there's another one for the 1900s and one in 2400s, which is Cyberpunk Future. Next, we talk about another studio which I quite like a lot. That's Renegade. They do quite a few Kickstarters for solo Heroes series, and Warp's Edge is the first original solo Heroes. It's got a seal of excellence from the Dice Tower. This is the stick-on the front. So obviously they have gotten this after they have printed the box and everything. And I think the guys at Dice Tower totally love this. I totally love solo games, and the most important thing is this thing is not just solo. It has a storybook. I've already partially opened this, as you can see, but I'm not fully explore the whole game and everything, which I hope I'll do so. As you can see, there's a 28-page, I think it's fully colored if I'm not wrong, storybook with some choose your own path story. And you're like upgrading your ship, fighting the enemy, and then warp, and then fighting, upgrading again, and stuff like that. So it's a very interesting game, like in a way, kind of reminds you of like Galaxy Trucker in a way, but there's a continuous, not like build once and fight through everything. I'm not sure. Maybe Galaxy Trucker is by the same creators. I mean the same publisher. I'm not sure. Maybe. But anyway, so this has been something that has been highly praised as a solo game. It's a solo only game, but not stopping you from having 2 players play together. On the same team. Deciding what to do and stuff. And of course, the rating is pretty fantastic. It's like one of the best solo games around. The box is not that big. I have actually been wanting to get this, but because there was some expansion that I couldn't get, the FOMO kind of kicked in, and I finally managed to get both the expansion in the Kickstarter, and now finally I got hold of the base game, and then I could start playing this before the expansion arrived. I'm going to have to let's stop for a while here, change scene, and I'll be back with some new stuff. And we're back with some new games. I think you're like dying to ask me what happened to the new world. Okay, I'm gonna put like all of them together right at the end with all the Raven games. Kind of like a special Ryan Lauket kind of a special talk. And then let's first like cover some of the other. So I have another expansion here. Yeah, because this expansion, I want to cover this as an expansion too. So look at this cover. I mean, this is like the Bunny Kingdom in the Sky by Richard Garfield. It's actually like 45 minutes. I don't know why it's 14 plus. I mean, it looks so cute. Like there's beanstalk stuff, beanstalk, rainbow, unicorns, dragons, castle in the clouds. And, we have bunny knights, like some other bunny adventurers. Maybe this is a bunny rook or something. Like pumpkin cars, pumpkin carriage, and it's like with this guy, cool bunny guy. Bunny girl, maybe, yeah, looks like it's bunny girl on a chocobo. Of course, I didn't call it chocobo, I guess. It's copyright issue, but no. Basically, this is an expansion that brings a new board to the Bunny Kingdom. As you can see, there's a new 5th player now, the purple Baron, and we can actually go into the skies through the beanstalk, and then there are things you can do in the sky, gains new resources. So there's there's actually more places for characters to expand up, and then we don't have to clutter onto the ground and everything. And it's like, look at the cards are really fantastic. So there are wondrous resources, as you can see, like this egg with no dragons, it's a dragon hatchery. We have this unicorn, we have rainbow tail, and we kind of have this place with all growing of the maybe they're growing beanstalk, I don't know. But anyway, pretty colorful and like cute and everything. And we have of course other trade. There's a tax collector, this real mean looking guy, typical people are tax collectors. I hope none of you are tax collectors. But anyway, that's just a joke. I mean, it's just a profession, and it's like that's the way I'm sure this can't be good news. They're here to take your money away and stuff. Anyway, it's like building new this what they call it carrot Tadels, like citadels, Citadels. So we have like castles, in the skies. Really, like this beautiful artwork, like a rainbow bridge and everything. So I actually just from the artwork, I don't see that there's even a reason to say that. I don't want this game. I don't think anybody will say that. It's like but just that the price point for this has been relatively high. In fact, even higher than the original base game for quite a while. I've been watching it finally until this drops to something reasonable, and I got hold of it. So this is why this finally came after such a long time. Can't wait to get this onto the table. This is published by ILO Games. And it's like this says a lot about board games. So certain board games, even if you have no interest to it, but just having good art, having like good miniatures, like this castles and everything, it says a lot, and people are more inclined to even take a look at it. And if you have bad art, most of the time I would just walk away from bad art, because it just doesn't make sense, even if I like the game, but I'll be like put off with the art. And to be honest, that happens to Munchkin. I don't think there's really something very wrong with the game, but just that something's very wrong with the artwork for me subjectively. Okay, so next we have is this is not an expansion, but this is a reteam game. This is The Last Bastion. The Last Bastion is from Antonio Bruza, and this actually is a reteam game of Ghost Story. Ghost Story is actually a game where you're taking like Taoist monk fighting the spiritual and demons, protecting the village. So now you're like taking fantasy characters, like dwarf, elf archers, brave knights and stuff, and you're fighting like medieval monsters like demons, skeletons, evil wizards, and stuff like that. And you're protecting a castle. So this is a nice reteam. The most important changes is that the miniatures in the Ghost Story looks bad. because it's a very early day games, and at time I think miniatures has not been so developed. But look at all the miniatures for this is like fantastic. You know, look at the dwarf, you know, all the details and everything. You know, there are textures base. This guy with the horse, you know, the big knife, the crossbows, you know. Yeah, the miniatures are really fantastic for this game, which is maybe one reason why, you know, the price has been a little bit higher. But that's not to say that the board is not nice. The board is fantastic. Look at the player boards. So the player boards are like joined to the central board right here. The central board is like where, you know, there are a lot of things happening. They even have miniatures for, you know, like the sort of landscape. So I do hope this comes with it, right? I mean, it's not just for illustration purpose only. And you can see that, you know, they have different weapons for different characters. You gain hold of it, and easy iconography. You know, this is probably the health, and we have like, you know, maybe this like the coins and things like that. So this is like simple and fun game, and you know, simple in a sense, simple I understand, but I don't think it's an easy to finish game. Ghost stories have been pretty tough. I've heard this is have been toned down a little bit. Of course, I think there's some ways to make it more difficult if you prefer that, and it can be played for 1 to 4 players. As you can see here, means that you know, solo is totally playable, and it's based on the mechanism of ghost stories. So this is something that I have been watching for a very long time, out of print and ridiculously priced. Until recently, I have finally got it at a reasonable price, and that's why this ended up here. Okay, so next we have 3 games that's all about Judge Dredd, and this is actually based on the sales from Osprey Games. So I'm going to talk all of them at about the same time. This is the first, this is not the first, this is the expansion. So this is the first one. This is actually the Cursed Earth Judge Dredd. This is a card game, and this is a standalone game. So the, you know, the artwork, I totally love the artwork, because this, like, you know, the post-apocalypse, you know, and there's like this T-Rex, you know, the police officers and the judge, you know, and we have you know, like those artworks with all the mutants, you know, the half cyborgs and everything, you know. It's like, so this is totally, you know, like the sci-fi stuff that we totally love, and you know, you can see there's a lot of cards and everything. They have actually, I think they have covered up the price tag, have covered up the how many players for this, but I don't think this is like a very complex game. This is probably a simple game, but it was a reteam, I think, of the last expedition, which is a very old you know, game that cannot be found anymore. But you know, now that we have version with Judge Dredd, I totally is okay with it. I love Judge Dredd, and you know, this is why I finally got hold of, and I obviously didn't pay $35 for it. I will go and check out if the sales is still on. If the sales is still on, I'll put a link below, you know, you just, and then you can get to ship it, you know, and then yeah, just buy some of this, you know, at a good sales price. So the next we have these 2 games that comes together. Let's just you know, have a break, and then I'll come back, because you know, so I'll see you again. And here we have this is like the Judge Dredd Heater Skater. Basically this is the main box. It's upside down. Let me try and shift it. It's a very big box, and it's a it's kind of relatively heavy. It's okay, it's quite heavy. So you know, the cover is awesome with Judge Dredd, you know, and you know, I guess some of these could be the villains. So this is a Wildlands game. So I guess it's based on a Wildlands system. I'm not too familiar with it, but this could be a reteam in a sense, like, you know, it's based on Wildlands, and you get the various faction, you know, like Judge Dredd, Nikolai Dante, Slade, and you have this Sanitium Dogs, maybe, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with it, but you know, the card looks cool. You know, this is probably the Judge Dredd faction. As you can see, you know, different characters, then they have different cards and powers to play out and link up. And the map basically looks like, you know, the post-apocalypse kind of a coloring, you know, darkish red, black, you know, green for maybe I don't know, radioactive and stuff like that. And there are miniatures as well, you know, there are miniatures. As you can see, there's some miniatures here. This is like another fraction. This is like from the, I don't know, I can't recognize from a symbol. Yeah, but anyway, so this looks like is a game that's enjoyable with a few friends, and it seems like this is actually played for 2 to 4 players. You can play versus 30-60 minutes. So this is the big box, and there's also an expansion. So the expansion, both the big box and expansion, is also bought at the same shop, and also at the same sales. And we can see that this has some you know, like cool villain, like this almost metal skeleton guy. The guy on fire, this looks like an evil Judge Dredd or maybe, and like, yep. So we actually got more stuff here. So actually his name is Death, and he says that we get actually more ink wash miniatures. If the ink wash miniature looks like this, it looks like it's maybe somewhat like what they call sun drop for Awakened Realms. So they have something like this, which is totally cool. And now we have more cards, token, and rulebook. So this is obviously not $35. I didn't pay $35 for it. I will find out if the sales is still on. I will put a link to it because I think this is like something good not to be missed. And we will talk about the last batch of games, which is all the games from Red Raven Games. Ready? So here we have. This is like all the games from Red Raven Games. Just a little bit to talk about Red Raven before we proceed. Red Raven Games actually is a game that actually, I mean, it's not a game. It's a company that's actually mainly is Ryan Lauket. Ryan Lauket actually is a very very talented designer of board game. He's also the illustrator and he published the game. So basically, it's like everything has to have his name stamped on because it's fantastic. I mean, I heard there's even a documentary about him. I should go and find out. If I find a documentary, maybe I'll share it. Anyway, Red Raven Games has created a lot of games that's actually fantastic. So this is the Ancient World. This is the second edition, and I actually own other games that's actually by Red Ravens and specifically by Ryan Lauket. That is, I have the Above and Below. I have Near and Far, and Now and Never is already on pre-order, so that should be coming soon. Maybe a later part of this year, I guess. So, in the gist is the first thing that's very iconic about Ryan Lauket and the Red Raven Games is that the artwork is that kind of artwork with the almost like watercolor painting like. With this very very distinct color features and contrast, it's like look at the cloud, look at the water and stuff. This is the type of artwork you see primarily quite across a lot of their games. In this world they call Arzium, I think, and they have very unique monsters. Like they are not really generic copy where you have dwarfs and dragons and minotaurs. Not exactly. So they have things like this Eyes of Vogoth. And then we have this Magma Realm, and we have this Solician Serpent. So you can see that they are very very original design, and they looks very different from typical fantasies kind of settings. So in this Ancient World, this is by the way the second edition. There's actually this is like your town capital, and then this capital you can build up buildings. You go to various places and to gain resources, upgrade your towns and stuff. And what your aim is to take down this mega they call titans that's like terrorizing the thing, and then you have to send armies to come and defeat him and gain victory points and stuff. And you can build up armies and then you have to need to recruit them, upkeep the army and stuff like that. And the other players will be doing the same thing, and then you'll be trying to gain reputation and everything. So this game is basically competitive, but there's actually some rules for solo play, so it's actually fantastic. One of the reasons why I got it. So you will ask, what's the difference between the first edition and second edition? So basically, based on what they say here, they are upgraded cards and tokens. There's some extended gameplay. So in the first edition, the Titan actually doesn't attack you, but now they do. And there's a larger board with I think Battle for Eyes and everything. There's also a new resource called Ambrosia, and the Empire District cards has been revised. So for many of the Ryan Lauket's games, there's actually second edition, so I would advise getting a second edition if you can. But there are some exceptions to this, but this is one of them that the second edition is a must-have, I guess, according to many people. And the Ancient World is actually one of those gems that people little talk about it because it's overlooked. Because most of the people will talk about the three trilogy, like Above and Below, Near and Far, Now and Never. Same goes with this Islebound. Islebound, look at the artwork, is about ship sailing in this big wave, of greenish water with is that the same dragon? Not dragon. I can't remember the name. Is the same serpent that we saw just now? Maybe, but that one looks like it's from the sky. Maybe this is the water. So anyway, why don't I open this up, because this box has already been opened up. So this box has been purchased as a second-hand product because I have gotten this from someone else, and as you can see, I printed out the solo rules, which actually is not official, but you know, for times when you want to play alone, it's always something. The rulebook's pretty good, you know. As you can see, this is the components, fantastic components with, you know, nice artwork, and yeah, there's also boards that actually has various stuff there. So there's a few pieces of this you add together to make, like, you know, a big sea with many islands, and you know, it's like then you have your own ship, you know, as well as, you know, resources and everything. And look at the components here. It's actually pretty good components. As you can see, like, it's a very thick token. You know, some characters with dice. These are like the typical Europe game stuff. And then we have like resources like knowledge, fish, you know, and this like the coins. By the way, also there's some components you can actually purchase, like the deluxe version of it from the Red Raven store. I will put a link to Red Raven store because they have quite a lot of stuff there that's of interest. The cards have all put it into this deck box, and I want to show you the player board. Is like, you know, it's formed up by various pieces of this, but as you can see that there are different islands with different features and different things you can do there, you know, to like, get stuff. And yeah, so basically it's a very interesting game, and I think it's been like overlooked by a lot of people. Also, because the thing is that this game, I don't think it's easy to get nowadays. I have actually finally got this from someone else as you know, pre-owned. So I can only say that it's just not easy to find, and it's lucky for me that I got hold of it. Although that said, but the expansion is easy to find. You can actually buy the expansion either from Amazon or from Red Raven Games. Okay, so I'm about to go into the last part of this game. The last two box support game, and before I do that, I also have some surprise after that. So let's jump right into this. So this segment has kind of like turned up into be like something you know, Red Raven and Ryan Lauket's kind of game. Only it could have been like a standalone video on its own, but anyway, this is like their latest edition, and it's the one with the highest praise so far, you know, by a lot of people. The narrative is fantastic. You can almost like never finish exploring this open world. This is Sleeping Gods, and this is the expansion, Tides of Runes. Basically, this is the expansion brings, as you can see, it's pretty heavy, but it's thin. It's not really a thick box as compared to the original game. And what this expansion brings you is a new adventure books with new maps. So all the maps are actually on the book open up. So and then you have new cards, you know, like this grillfish, and obviously this requires Sleeping Gods, and you have new monsters as well, like this acid beetle and this neurotic elephant. So the artwork is a bit more dark. It's almost Cthulhu like, as some people have you know, described it, but it's not really. So Ryan Lauket has very you know, original design, and this will be co-written by Melody Rocket as well. Is it his wife? I don't know, but anyway, that's just speculation. And Brennett, okay, and game design illustration by Ryan Lauket himself. And you know, we can see the Elf Segate as well. You know, he has been in some other games as well. Oh, sorry, this is continuation. So the it's also written by Bretna Esplund. I don't know. Sorry if I pronounce it wrongly. You know that there's also an arcade mode designed by Ira Fey. So this is an expansion for Sleeping God. There's also one more expansion, which is the dungeons. It's a small pack. I don't know. It looks like a small pack. It's not arrived yet, so that's a bit delayed because I bought it from different people. But anyway, the main box is here. It's very heavy. I look at the artwork, man. It's like, you know, you're playing this ship, you know, aboard with a crew, and then, you know, like there's these hidden gods that you need to wake up again, you know, wake them up, you know, in order to escape this place. And this is a really heavy game. As you can see, I can't leave it, so I have to, like, you know, slide it across. As you can see, you have your crew, which has all different abilities, and, you know, they can do different things. You will go to the ship with various part of the ships where you can actually gain different resources and, you know, activate different stuff. And you know, there are decisions to be made. You know, sometimes you will, like, you know, lose members, add members, and, you know, to your ship and everything. And also, of course, there are like a lot of resources involved in the games. There's also like abilities that different people can bring to you. About like this lady will let you have, you know, draw 3 ability cards, which is fantastic. And the map obviously, as you've seen, is actually in the book, as you can see. So depending on where you start sailing, you flip to different pages. So this open world is really, really so big. It's like, you know, some people will say that, you know, you can just keep going east and, you know, the whole campaign will be like in the east side, and, you know, even that you couldn't cover the whole of the east side of this game. And judging from that, each campaign takes about 20 hours, as you can see here. So I can easily confidently say there's almost more than 100 hours of gameplay in this. And, you know, it's like, this is really massive. And you know what is there's also another game coming, this is Sleeping Gods, something to do with the sky, and I think that you can actually explore the skies in the plane. It's actually based on the same world, but I don't think it's a expansion. Maybe it can be used as expansion, I'm not sure, but they stated that it's a standalone game. So I think, yeah, there's more exploration done in the sky and more stories and everything. So one thing about this game a lot of people has praised is that the narrative is fantastic. The story is very unique, and it's like, you know, there's a lot to be explored and everything. And you know, that's what I really love. I mean, it totally reminds me of the Seventh Continent and stuff. But the Seventh Continent plays very differently, and it's really a very tough game. So maybe this is a little bit more friendly. I don't know. I just hope that, you know, I don't have all my crew dying on me on my first game. So as I promised you, that is all the board game I have. But I'm gonna talk a little bit something else here. So this is something that came with one of the, you know, premium delivery companies. I'm not sure whether this is UPS or is it DHL or something. But okay, so what the backstory about this is that there's this game called the Lord of the Rings Journey in Middle Earth, and there's this Spreading War expansion. So what happened was that in that expansion, there's a lot of big miniatures, such as this one, the Siege Tower, as well as you know, this big elephant boss monsters. My original miniatures came with all his tusk and trunk broken. The Siege Tower has, you know, some of the fences and the fire also broken. So what happened was that I wrote to them, and then they actually shipped new ones that's actually, you know, intact to me. That's really fantastic. I got my replacement. So for the Spreading War, there's been plagued by a lot of this problem, maybe because of the way that they packed it. There's no specific compartment for the miniatures. They just like stuff them in Ziploc bags, and I think that's one of the problems, that why, you know, some of the miniatures broke. There will even be some people who said that you know, they have missing miniatures. And so the replacement has I'm not sure if this is supposed to be banned. Is it? Okay, I don't know, but oh my god, this broke. Did it just broke? Oh, it did. Sucks. Okay, anyway, that was a negative demonstration. But anyway, what I wanted to say was that what happened was that you know, there was a lot of this thing plagued with it, and FFG has been you know, under Asmodee, and under Asmodee, a lot of things has changed. One of the most important things has changed, that they do not do direct replacement. Let's say you bought it from FFG, you can't get your miniatures replaced with FFG. That goes to the same with all other Asmodee's companies that's been bought over, and you have to like go through the retailer stores that you bought it from, be it like Miniature Market or, you know, Game Nerd or whoever you got it from, and they are supposed to handle the replacement for you. So I guess there will be a lot of people who are unhappy about it. I think maybe they did not manage to get their replacement, or, you know, like they have asked to pay ridiculous shipping and everything. For me, I did not. So this was a positive demonstration of a good I'd say customer service from Asmodee. So I can't say anything bad about it. I'm satisfied with it. I'm happy with it. I hope they keep it up and, you know, have it free shipping, you know, ship the stuff, you know, to people who have got you know, damaged components, missing components, and, you know, yeah, because, you know, as I think the last thing you want to do is, you know, buy a miniature based game and have some miniatures broken. That's really like, you know, it breaks your heart, really. Yeah. So I guess that's something that they could work on, and I hope that they do very well on that. So I have no complaints about it. I'm one of the lucky ones. So you have to take it a pinch of salt when, you know, other people say otherwise. But as far as I'm concerned, so far it's okay. I have replaced with one of the other Asmodee games subsidiaries. I think it's perhaps Playhat Games. I think I one of my staff favor with you know, wrong miniatures and stuff, and they actually sent it to me. You know, as well. So I didn't have problem with that. But that was before. Yep. So like I said, that was like before Asmodee took over. But I guess so far I don't really have a big issue with it. So what I just want to have a preview is that I'm like looking into Sai, and I actually got tried to repack them into like as little box as possible. I've gotten like all the expansion for Sai, as you can see here. This is like the Legacy, the Rise of Fenris, and this is the original Sai box with the new inserts and stuff. Maybe I'll go through some of the way how I store this game as one of the separate video, but I want to like get hold of this game to play it soon. And one thing I recently realized was that actually Sai has a lot of similarity to Villainous, because there's a lot of like go to a different place, you activate different powers and things like that. So I mean that's very very interesting, and I could say that Villainous maybe is trying to implement Sai mechanism in a less heavy mechanism. I don't know, but maybe that's what he's trying to do. Anyway, so I think I'd like to let's kind of like end here, and then we will see you I'll see you in another video soon enough. Probably something about the Kickstarter, because I think that's important. There's a lot of Kickstarter project that I'm interested. Some of them are not backing, some of them I am, and then we can like just go over that soon in another video. Until then, see you, and please help me like this video so that at least it gets some exposure due to the algorithm or whatever. I mean, you can subscribe, no problem. I'm pretty cool with it. Or anything you want to discuss about some of this game, more information. You hate some of this game that I bought, and I think that you think I make a bad investment. Anything, just leave it in the comments. I will look at all the comments and answer the comments, because I guess I want some interaction. It's like me talking all the time, and like I'm fully capable of like just going rambling for 1 hour. So okay, I like to hear something you guys say. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Time for coffee anyway.